If you've ever grown green beans and wondered why some seasons explode with pods while others barely fill a basket, you're not alone. Here on Soil Stories, I've learned that the difference between an okay harvest and a jaw-dropping one often comes down to how you plant your seeds, not just when. After years of experimenting, failing, learning, and doing it all over again, I finally stumbled on a planting method that gave me the richest, most productive green bean harvest I've ever seen. And today, I'm sharing that exact process with you so you can experience the same bean-loaded vines in your own garden. Let's dig into the method that changed everything for me, step by step, with practical tips you can apply today. Green beans are often marketed as easy crops, and they certainly can be. But many gardeners unknowingly limit their plants long before they sprout. Green beans aren't fussy, but they are sensitive to soil temperature, depth, spacing, and even the way moisture hits the seed. When you get these details right, your plants reward you with lush vines, unstoppable flowering, and pods that seem to multiply overnight. Once I adjusted my planting method, everything else, from pest resistance to pod size, improved. The soil stayed warmer, germination shot up, the plants grew sturdier and healthier, and most importantly, the harvest was so heavy, I found myself giving baskets away to neighbors. Let me show you exactly how to replicate the magic. One of the biggest reasons green bean seeds fail is cold soil. Beans absolutely hate cold feet. If the soil is below 15 degrees Celsius or 60 degrees Fahrenheit, they sulk, rot, or sprout so slowly that pests and diseases get a head start. I used to plant too early, thinking the sooner I got them in, the earlier my harvest would be. Wrong. All that really did was invite seed rot and weak seedlings. Now, I wait until the soil is warm, not just the air. When the soil hits 18 to 21 degrees Celsius, or 65 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit, beans germinate quickly and powerfully. I use this rule every season. If the soil feels warm to the touch and you can kneel down without flinching, it's bean time. This alone boosted my germination rate, but what came next boosted my harvest even more. This is the step that transformed my bean growth. Many gardeners soak bean seeds overnight, but that actually oversaturates them and encourages the seed coat to split prematurely. I tested several soaking durations, and the sweet spot turned out to be just 15 to 20 minutes. This short soak wakes the seed up, softens the outer layer, and primes it for faster root action once it hits the soil. Try this once and you'll notice the difference. After soaking, pat them dry gently before planting. Green bean roots expand quickly and they hate compact soil. Before planting, I make sure my soil is light, breathable, and rich in organic matter. Here's what I focus on. Without overcomplicating it, I loosen the top 20 to 25 centimeters of soil with a garden fork. I mix in mature compost, not manure, because the high nitrogen causes leafiness at the expense of pods. I avoid adding too many fertilizers at planting time, because beans fix their own nitrogen through nodules. The result? Fluffy, fertile soil that encourages strong root systems and faster growth. When the soil feels airy and crumbly, you're ready for the next step. Most people plant bean seeds vertically without even thinking about it, but after experimenting several seasons in a row, I discovered that planting horizontally dramatically increased my germination speed and seedling strength. Here's why. A horizontally placed bean seed allows the emerging root to orient itself faster. Instead of struggling to find the right direction, the root grows straight down, and the stem finds its way up with less resistance. This means faster sprouting, stronger stems, and more uniform rows. To do this, just place the soaked bean seed on its side in the soil, like a little sleeping pillow. Then cover it gently. This may seem like a tiny detail, but I promise, it makes a big difference. Depth is more important than most gardeners realize. Too shallow and the seeds dry out, too deep and they suffocate. The magic depth is about 2.5 to 3 centimeters, or about 1 inch. If you plant any deeper, the seeds really struggle, and if you go any shallower, they risk uneven moisture. Green beans are team players. They honestly grow better with good airflow. The biggest harvest I ever had, well, it happened when I widened my spacing just a bit. Now I give bush beans about 10 to 15 centimeters between plants. For pole beans, it's more like 15 to 20 centimeters, and, I keep my rows 45 to 60 centimeters apart. Right after planting, most gardeners, make the mistake of pouring a heavy stream of water directly over the seedbed. That just compacts the soil and pushes seeds around, making germination really uneven. Here's what I do instead. I water the soil before planting so it's evenly moist but not soggy. Then I plant the seeds into that pre-moistened soil. After that, I just mist lightly over the top, not to water the seed but to settle the soil. This keeps the soil soft and prevents seed displacement. The beans sprout uniformly and, well, the stems push up effortlessly. After planting, I add a thin layer of organic mulch, but very thin for the first 2 weeks. Too much mulch early on can smother seedlings. A 1 to 2 centimeter layer of grass clippings or shredded leaves is perfect. Once the beans reach about 10 to 15 centimeters tall, I add a second, thicker layer. This maintains moisture, prevents weeds, and keeps the soil warm. Everything beans adore. This is the fun part, but also the step that truly determines how long your harvest lasts. Green beans produce more when you pick more. I harvest every 2 days as soon as the pods reach pencil thickness. Waiting too long signals to the plant that seed making is complete, and production slows down. Regular harvesting keeps the plant in reproduction mode, and trust me, it works. During my record harvest, I filled buckets every 2 to 3 days for weeks. This planting method transformed my garden, and I've seen it work in multiple climates, soil types, and seasons. From warm soil and short soaking to horizontal planting and correct spacing, these small changes create huge results. If you've never had a truly abundant bean harvest, this might be the missing piece. As gardeners, we're always learning, always improving, always finding new ways to work with nature instead of against it. And that's what Soil Stories is all about. Sharing real experiences that help all of us grow better, healthier, more abundant gardens. If you enjoyed this guide and want more practical gardener-tested tips like this, make sure to subscribe to Soil Stories, share this article with a fellow gardener, and help our growing community thrive. The more we share, the more we all grow. Happy planting, and may your next green bean harvest be your richest ever.